Howdy everyone, I'm the Shadow of the Hawk, and title's kind of clickbait, not gonna lie. But you know what they say about clickbait. I don't know what they say about the clickbait. So I'm just getting off of Friday night's Royal Rumble with Legion Talk, Joker Voice, Hijabi Gamer, Samiel the Infamous, and Nomiwithoutyou. Go check all of those channels out. Links will be down in the description below because they are much better people than me. And there was a couple seconds, about a couple minutes actually, spent talking about Henry Cavill's upcoming Warhammer show. It got brought up in conversation, I think, about Netflix and some fuck-ups they've had. This is not entirely a continuation of that discussion, but I was inspired to make this video based on that discussion that we had. Namely, that I am excited for, and I really think that Henry Cavill's Warhammer project will be something of a success. And if you disagree, okay. This is not meant to be a I'm right, you're wrong type video. This is not meant to be a dive into the world of Warhammer for those of you who don't know what this setting is. This is me expressing an opinion about why I'm super excited for this project. If that does not appeal to you, leave your dislike, leave your comment, or don't do anything. Actually, please leave a dislike, because that actually helps the algorithm for some reason. I don't understand why. I've just been told that works. So, Warhammer. To give a quick, brief synopsis, it is just every single science fiction and science fantasy trope thrown into a blender with grim dark poured all the frick over it, and a little bit of fantasy tossed in just for the lulz, and spat out, and then given an excessive amount of guns and cocaine. Any Warhammer fan would agree with me that that is a very accurate description of the setting. It is overblown, it is crazy, it is fun. It is a lot of violence. It is also incredibly dark. It is a universe where mankind is basically slowly dying, either from the threats without, being demons, the threats outside, the alien, or the threats within, the chaos cultists and the mutant. It is a universe where things like the Drukhari... Okay, let me rephrase that. It is a universe where death is the best alternative, because there are demons that will take you back to their little homes and they will torture you for eternity. There are evil Keebler elves that will drag you off and torture you for eternity. And, you know, I'm explaining the universe. I apologize for explaining the universe. I said I wouldn't do that. But anyway, how could a world like this, like that is so dark and edgy and evil and shit, how could that, why do I think that that would succeed as a TV show for general audiences? Because in a universe of so much raw, unadulterated evil, for any sort of life to occur, for any sort of goodness to exist, there must be stories of heroism far greater than any other universe. And that is the case. Even cravens and cowards like Caiaphas Cain, a man who is so freaking scared of death, he will go through any lie and take any trick he can to get out of fighting. When push comes to shove, he will be one of the greatest heroes you would have ever read. He has fought demons. He has fought super soldiers. He has fought great monstrosities purely out of a drive to survive. But he is not some sniveling coward. He is a charismatic individual. He speaks, he jokes, he jests. He is followed around by a motley of different characters who are all very interesting to see. People that you want to see live, even though a lot of them don't end up living. It is a universe. He is surrounded by people. People with their own goals, people with people they love, people who want to just stop and go home, or people who want to continue fighting. It is a very human story. And despite the universe that he is in, there is happy endings. There is uplifting. There is the sense that, hey, things will actually be better because men and women stand up and they fight and they bleed and sometimes they die to preserve mankind. And at the end of the day, that is what makes a good story. Lord of the Rings, one of the greatest pieces of fiction in all time, is effectively a story of mankind crying out into the dark and going, we will not die. Go fuck off, Sauron. Independence Day is basically the exact same thing, but said to aliens. Warhammer 40k is inherently, if you're following the humans, a humanist story. And you can tell any story in Warhammer as well. The universe is so vast. There are billions of planets with trillions, maybe even quadrillions of souls upon them. There are thousands of war zones active every year. Millions of years over the course of Warhammer 40Ks. 40K specifically is only a couple hundred years of history. There's also the Horus Heresy. There's the Golden Age. There's the Dark Age of technology. There's so much room to tell any kind of story you want. You have what is established. You have the stories of Caiaphas Cain. You have the Soul Drinkers. You have the Dark Ages. You have the Lehman Russ. Then you have things that are less developed. Things like the Savlar Chem Dogs, the Severin Dominant, the Corley Swarm, I believe. Things that are mentioned in lore. There's things there, but there's not anything known about them. And then there is room further to tell your own stories, to tell whatever kind of story you want. And that is why I think Warhammer is a very, very good universe that should enter the mainstream, because you can do with it what thou will, to quote Berserk. And no, I'm not saying that you could do like left-wing bullshit. This isn't me going, we can appease the right and the left. This is me going, there is room for, you want to tell a story about a guy pushed into a bad circumstance. You can tell a story about a guy pushed into a bad circumstance. You want to tell a story about an exiled prince cast out of his home. You need to tweak a few things. That story can be told. There are so many different facets of human nature that can be explored within Warhammer simply because of the scale of the universe. And those same stories can be told again and again with different characters, different outcomes. And every single time it could feel absolutely unique. I can't really think of another universe except for maybe Star Wars. But even then, Star Wars doesn't really work, because what makes Warhammer so good is the fact that it is so fragmented. It is so scattered throughout the galaxy. It is a dark age. You could have entire sections of the Imperium go on with their lives for hundreds of years, thinking things are going completely differently in the galaxy, and then get back in contact with humanity as a whole, and the entire scape of the universe has changed. So this is just a quick little video expressing my opinion about this. I don't really have much more to say about it. If people want me to expand upon a specific thing, go ahead, let me know in the comments down below. If people want to dispute me about some stuff, I would love to talk about it. If people want to learn more about Warhammer, I would recommend checking out channels like Arch or Baldermort. But I'm willing to talk about this universe as much as you would let me talk about this universe, because I love it. If you stuck around for this long, thank you. Leave a comment down below. And I do want some more algorithmic interaction. I have been told I need to chill a little bit more. So likes or, dislikes. If you think I'm a fucking piece of shit, give me a dislike. That helps the algorithm. Why? I don't know. It just works. It's like a Todd Howard game. Anyway, thank you all for sticking around. Have a good day. Or, well, it's night right now. But if you're watching this in the daytime, have a good day. See you next time. Yeah, that's about it. I'm just waiting.